Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Paul, and you're watching That Malu Dad is Cooking Today What? And being a Sunday special today, we missed it quite a while, and it's been a fantastic journey from all the way from Marathali to the new place. Wait for the reveal. We have not yet set the place right, so I'm just going to give you a small house den crib. So meanwhile, today we're going to cook the beef cutlet. You heard me right, the red meat cutlet, or so-called the fried. I mean, you know what? Where does that Malu get information? All the trustworthy from all the way from Portuguese. Yes, my dear folks, ladies and gentlemen, the beef cutlet originally been, although it was being transported all the way from Portugal, the so-called the Portuguese when they ruled the colonial rule in India. This is even before independence, in the 17th century, when Vasco da Gama from all the way from Portugal, explored this particular place in Goa. When he also landed with beef cutlets, so to speak. Oh, well, that was the analogy that you need to know. Well, to let you know, the Portuguese came with a very clear understanding what beef cutlet is all about, how they would go ahead and fry using breadcrumbs and panko. And now beef cutlet has been famous all across India. You might see it in any kind of, Ramadan time. You might see a very great appetizer in most of the great olden cafes in Bangalore or in any part of the world, including South India, North India, East India. And it's also influenced the Anglo-Saxon. So moving on, because of the variety spices used, Portuguese came with a very clear understanding. They got potatoes, so they always added potatoes to any kind of dish. So even in this beef cutlet today, we're going to add potatoes. Very simple. It's going to be ginger, garlic, green chili for the spice level. And up the ante, we're going to add a lot of pepper to it. And for the Indian context, we're going to add coriander leaves. That's going to be flavorsome. We bought him some breadcrumbs. Otherwise, what my mom would do is just go ahead and soak the bread, probably in the sun, and then, use the mixie, or rather use a processor to make a powder and then use that as a breadcrumbs. That's about it. So I'm going to kickstart and show you how exactly you could do this. So you all know this. It's very clear. It's going to be the beef red meat cutlet. Let's dive in. Now I'm going to show you exactly that Malu Dad cooking today, the Portuguese beef cutlet. You hear me right? What are the ingredients required? I've laid it across. I'm going to show you by one. Meanwhile, I would just go ahead and request you to go ahead and hit that subscribe, follow, and hit that bell notification to go ahead and create this Malu Dad is going to cook. Because yesterday we have done Japanese ramen. Unfortunately, because we were tired, I couldn't shoot up. But it came out really great. So I'll show you those pictures probably here and there also in my Instagram and my threads. Why don't we go ahead and do this? So meanwhile, I'm just going to go ahead and show the ingredients for the Portuguese beef cutlet. Stick on, stay on. Cheers. Okay, first thing first. What we need is the red meat, right? This is 25% fat and the rest is going to be the meat. Since it's red meat, you're going to see a lot of fat. So we have pounded it from the butcher itself. This is around about half a kilo. Okay, so this is about half a kilo of the red meat, and with this, the main ingredient, as I said, when the Portuguese bought in, is the potato. Yes, my dear folks, it's a simple, humble potato. It requires close to 4 potatoes out there, and then obviously we need to have an onions in any Indian cooking. And we had the ginger here, then we have the ginger, then we have the garlic. This is about close to less than 50 grams, I would say so. Okay, then we have the green chili out here. Okay, and then obviously the coriander, the Indian aspects of it. When I mentioned the Indian aspects of it, so we have potato, onion, ginger, garlic, and the green chili out here. And then comes the spices. The spices is very important here. It's very clear. One is the turmeric, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, and lots of Kerala black pepper, you remember, and then obviously the garam masala. Obviously for the Indian palate you require such kind of spices, and not to forget the main breadcrumbs what Portuguese has bought in. Now this is panko out here. So mom would use a lot of breadcrumbs. This is in panko, so we would actually go ahead and beat it to make a fine powder. Obviously you need a one egg as well to go ahead and roll it. Now ideally we would boil the red meat. We would boil the red meat out here along with potatoes together, and then we would show you what happens when it gets cooked, how does it get mixed, and I will show you the mixture, what happens. There are 2-3 steps of level of doing it, and then probably I can show you the next steps. Look at my son running up and down, doing a lot of work. Yeah, so the Sunday lunch, you might ask me, what is there for the food? The menu is going to be very simple. It's going to be basmati white rice. It's going to be simple, humble dal, or what do you call the lentils or the cereals, which has been influenced by my mum all the way from Bombay, mix of Kerala and Bangalore style. So that Mallu dad is cooking white rice. The dal, very simple, not going to shoot. But the secret guest here today is going to be the beef cutlet. Let's stick on until it gets cooked. So there you go, folks. Look at it. We cooked along with the meat, along with the potato. It's completely lovely cooked. I'll just take a spoon and just give you a small smash. See, it runs through easily, right? It just gets stuck. So more or less, we have added the masala and then cooked this as well. So that's about it. So we're going to mix this and come back and try, and as we cook, we're going to show you this. Stay tuned. This is with the potato and the meat. We have added salt, pepper, and we also add a little bit of garam masala. It's fuming, and we cooked it almost for 20 to 25 minutes in pressure cooker. This is Indian style. We watch this until it's well done, and now we'll show you the next steps. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we've cooked the meat along with the potatoes, adding salt and pepper and a little bit of garam masala. What happens is, during this interim, the meat has a lot of water. So you need to understand, as we cook, the meat out here also has to come out, which means that it has to completely get dried out, and then also help you to keep it warm and keep it dry. Only then the other ingredients will get mixed up, right? So that's more important step that you need to follow, because as we dry, we just need to saute, and then the water will get evaporated. Meat will get absolutely dry, so that the potatoes and the onions and in this case a lot of masalas can get binded very well. Unlike in India, we use the chana dal powder, or so-called the Bengal gram powder. So these are or chickpea powder for the binding agent, or corn flour. Since this potatoes, the only secret ingredients not to make it wet is to eliminate the water from the meat. So keep that in mind. That's an important tip. And to give it more flavorful, you might add a little bit of vinegar, probably a little bit of also lemon if it is required. Otherwise, it's absolutely good to go with the similar ingredients. Stay tuned. That's about 2 tablespoons of oil, right? We're going to add until it's get a little bit warmed up. We're going to add around 2 fine chopped onions, and we're going to add first garlic. Okay, that's about close to, as I said, 50 grams of garlic. Very nice. Yeah, that's my wife who's cooking. She don't like to come online. Okay, saute. Yeah. In goes ginger and in goes green chili. Okay. This we saute for a little bit, not that brown. Okay, just keep that in mind, not that brown. Yeah. And now goes the onion, folks. One of the most secret ingredient to Indian cuisine, what we call it as, you need to have an OTP to send payments. The one OTP what we follow in Indian cooking is onion, tomato and potato. The onions have gone a little bit brown in color. That's amazing. Slow the flame and then add. We're going to add. So we're adding all the spices: turmeric, red chili powder, garam masala powder, and the pepper powder. How can you ignore the Kerala pepper, or so-called the tellicherry pepper? I mean, it's mentioned as tellicherry pepper in KFC, but it's called the Talasheri. The Americans couldn't spell the Talacheri, so they said Telacheri. Anyways, here goes the masalas. Now we add the meat. Meat which has been cooked, boiled and then sauteed to remove the water in the same pot. Now we mix. Also mix together spices, the amalgamation of love, bliss, the spices, the epitome of umami, the collagen, the protein, the fat and the meat all comes together in this as we saute. Now we're going to add potatoes which has been boiled. Roughly about 4 potatoes that we've added. Now this is going to go as equivalent as the meat is concerned, and then loads of coriander leaves. The Indian coriander, which is what we call it as the country coriander, what we get it here. We get 2 types of coriander leaves. One is a short leaves which has a lot of flavor, a lot of pungent and very tasty in terms of coriander is concerned. Another one is a bigger leaf which resembles similar to the parsley. In goes all the ingredients now. The only secret ingredient which we have not added is nothing but what we say, the salt to taste. The great epitome of salt will go in the last, and then we'll roll it up. See what happens after this is, let me explain. So what happens is that it's very clear that we need to mix this properly. Keep the chunk of the potatoes here and there, while you eat you get that bite. That's more important. And then also you need to understand, it should absolutely be dry. Just in case, even if the potato has moisture, a little bit of water, in that case what we do is probably we will add a little bit of panko or breadcrumbs along with it, what we showed earlier, remember? So that's about it, and then we chill it down. You need to chill it down until it comes in your hand nicely. Various shapes, heart shape, circular shape, or like how a Goan will do it, a perpendicular, very tip, we will show you that shape as well. And in goes with the panko and mixture of egg, then probably do a shallow fry. Stay tuned. There goes, folks, after mixing. Very clear, it's done and dusted. The meat, the potatoes, the umamis, the salt, the sour, the sweet. It does have no sweet in it. The potato has the sweetness. All the 5 flavors of the S has gone inside to this beautiful mixture. Alright folks, now this is how you're going to do. This is how my wife has learned from my mum, and this is how when we do it. So it's like not semi-circular, it's just like a circular shape, and then you go ahead. Now you do the the round one like this. Folks, there you go. This is the bread powder. Then that is the egg white, which is 1 white which is beaten. In case it's required, we might add again. Alright folks, we have added the oil to the fry pan. This is my mom's fry pan. This is one of the most oldest vessels. It is as old as my age, and guess my age. That's a question for tonight. Alright, here it goes. So what we're going to do, since we have added and we made the mold out of it, now we're going to dip it in the egg. Yeah, nicely dip it in the egg, both up and down, roll it everywhere, and then it goes into the bread powder. Coat it evenly. What does egg do? Very simple. Egg coats it so that the breadcrumbs just catches up. Make sure that the gas is in very slow flame. It should not get burned, Okay. And just keep it aside. So as we do it, we'll show you one more. Mix it up with the breadcrumbs. Remember, we bought the panko, so we use the brains. We just put it in the mixie, the processor. We just made it fine powder. We don't like that crispiness coming in between the meat. You know how does a bread taste, right? Because here we add a lot of sugar. It's not the fresh bread. So ideally, that's when mom will buy a sandwich bread, soak it in the sun, and then powder it. It'll have a little bit of the bland texture. Anyway, so that's another one on the egg and then on the bread. just a coat. And then it goes in the oil. It's just a vegetable oil, nothing else. So there you go, the sizzle from the egg, the sizzle from the meat, the sizzle from the oil, all the way from Portugal, the beef cutlet that Mallu dad is cooking, all the way to Portuguese beef cutlet. Yesterday I happened to cook the Japanese ramen, but unfortunately I couldn't shoot it. I'll share the pictures of it for sure. There you go, on the slow flame, right? So keep the flame on the slow level, Simi. Yeah, correct, there you go. And then, as slow it cooks, as sizzle it comes in, as crispy it comes in. There you go, folks. Absolutely dark golden brown, fantastic. Woo. Can't wait to dive in this beautiful cutlet all the way from Portuguese. Just look at the color, man. Oof, that's golden color. Even the oil turned that color. Ooh, that's amazing, amazing. There you have, my folks. This is the Kerala papadam and the lovely beef, the Portugal cutlet, what we call it as, and the simple, humble dal rice. Just going to do a quick test of the Sunday lunch. Normally there will be no dal, but just because of my son had ordered specifically, he wanted dal. We ordered dal today, and obviously to go ahead. Just can't wait. Mouth is watering. Let's kickstart. Bon appetit. Simple, humble dal. You can't ask better than that. We will be cooking a lot of Bombay duck, the dried Bombay duck, a lot of dried fish. Stay tuned. Subscribe to Royal Bangalore Food. Let's dive into the Portuguese beef cutlet. This is amazing. Slight crispiness, the umami of the meat and the potatoes, a little bit of spices here and there, the red chili powder, the pepper and the egg give you the crispiness on the texture. Always better with the bread or the pav, but we go with Keralites can use it because as good as Goans, as good as God's own country, right? Anyway, cheers. I'm going to taste just that slightly hot. This is where you need to watch out for. When you add the right ingredients, the right protein, without any fancy, the humble food is the best to always crave for. So with that in mind, happy Sunday, keep smiling, subscribe to Royal Bangalore Food, bon appetit and cheers. Have a good day. Bye bye.